What is up, everybody? This is Patrick Galpine, and I am here once again with my SmackDown Live review. Now, I'm sorry this has come a bit late, but this is usually the normal time I do it. But had a call with my girlfriend, so yeah, just got a bit delayed. But we're here now. We're here to talk about SmackDown Live, and what a poor show this was, man. What a poor show this was. This was really, I really didn't understand most of the stuff that was going on. But hey, this is WWE and their creative booking. This is WWE and their creative booking and where they are going things with nowadays. So hey, anyway, enough prancing around enough looking on social media. Let's get into the review, shall we? Yeah, I've been looking on social media. Anyway, the show started off with something different. And I'm very surprised that Raw did it as well, but we start things off with Samoa Joe. He comes out, cuts a promo on Daniel Bryan. Now, if there's one thing that I'm really getting annoyed with, now I know there's going to be people saying, oh, I don't have an issue with this at all, but I am starting to think that this is WWE's only way to get heel heat on certain wrestlers when they talk about Daniel Bryan. Every single time now, they always have a wrestler come out talking about Brie Bella and his child. I mean, really now? I know it's Samoa Joe, but still though, do we really need every single person that Daniel Bryan is feuding with that they need to mention Brie and their child? Owens and Zayn did it, which that made sense for why Owens and Zayn did it. Big Cass said it before he got injured, and now Samoa Joe. I know people aren't going to look at this and be like, oh, this is a bit of an issue. Nah, it was all part of the character. He's just getting heel heat. No, I'm tired of it. So, this led to Daniel Bryan coming out saying that if you ever talk about my wife and my child again, I'll break your leg. So this is the only way they can get heel heat on certain people now. Get creative, WWE. Get creative. Enough of mentioning Brie and enough of mentioning their child. It's getting old very quick. I know people might be okay with it because it's Samoa Joe, but still, it's getting old very fast. Doing the same thing to get heel heat is not how you get heel heat. You got to do other things besides talking about a person's wife and child. Get creative, WWE. Get creative. And we had Nakamura versus the Perfect Zero, Ty Dillinger. He's not the perfect 10, he's the perfect 0. Or the perfect loser. Ty Dillinger. And I'm not saying this in a mean way. I'm saying this because WWE have treated Ty Dillinger as a loser and as a joke. Ty Dillinger was used as a pawn for Shinsuke to explain what he's going to do and AJ Styles. Gee, it was cut. Jeez. Almost kind of similar to what Nia Jax did with Ronda Rousey. But instead, this was actually a match. That's the only difference. This was actually a match. So Shinsuke obviously won. Then he knocks out Ty Dillinger again. And then he starts counting to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. He starts doing the last man standing count. And that was that. Then we had a dance-off. Now, this is something I want to talk about. WWE booked Lana to squash Billie Kay in 1 minute. And you're telling me that Peyton Royce and Billie Kay are not going to seek revenge? They're not going to seek revenge after being humiliated in 1 minute? Are you telling me that the Iconics aren't going to want revenge on Lana? This pretty much backs up my claim that that match last week was used to bury them completely. They weren't even on the show this week. The Iconics were not even on the show this week. This pretty much sums it up. They used this match to bury them. They used that match last week to completely bury the Iconics. Why are these two having an argument? Why are these two having a dance-off? Can someone explain to me why these two are now all of a sudden feuding? I thought they were making Lana into a face. So now all of a sudden, Lana's a heel again? Lana is the best. Lana number one? No, she's not. She's certainly not the best, and she's nowhere near number one. So Naomi and Lana, they have a little dance-off. Naomi obviously wins. You know, every time there's a dance-off, you always have the baby faces win. The baby faces always win the dance-off, you know, just to make the crowd happy. They're like, yay, our favorite one, you know. They always do that every single time. Every single dance-off, they always have the baby faces win. And the heel, you know, Lana, you know, and this is probably Lana, being all honourable in defeat. She extends her hand out, they shake hands, they hug, and they start dancing again. And it was at this point I knew Lana was going to attack Naomi. So they did that. They went back to each other in a dance motion. They went back to each other, and then Naomi and Lana back neck breakers Naomi. So I knew Lana was going to do that. You could obviously see that coming. And again, I thought they were building Lana as a face. But all of a sudden, she's now a heel. WWE can't make up their minds. But Lana continues to hammer away on Naomi. Rusev and Aiden English get her off. Lana then eventually slaps Jimmy Uso, which Naomi sees this. She gets up, does the rear view, and the Usos fight back against Rusev Day. Now, the Usos are no longer the Usos of last year. We can obviously see that. They don't have their face paint. They're pretty much the same old Usos, but minus the face paint. smiling, happy, being with their wife. Well, Jimmy Uso being with his wife. You know, we got the Usos of old. So next week, and it was announced next week that Jimmy Uso and Naomi will versus Lana and Rusev. Wow, I sure can't wait. I sure cannot wait for this mixed tag team match. Like this has anything to do with the women's Money in the Bank ladder match that Lana and Naomi are in. Like this has anything to do with it. Why these two women are fighting is beyond me. And more importantly, why are they feuding is beyond me. And now they're going to be saying that the only reason why these two women are fighting is because of this dance-off. We had the New Day versus the Miz and The Bar. The Miz was backstage punching pancakes. The Bar was throwing the pancakes at the Miz, and that was just stupid. That was just stupid. But in the end, but eventually, the match got underway. The New Day ended up getting the win here, obviously. They beat The Miz and The Bar on SmackDown Live. And they still have yet to reveal which member of the New Day is going in Money in the Bank. They've got 2 weeks left. They've got 2 weeks left. They better hurry up and get on with it. Before the main event, we had Asuka versus Mandy Rose. Now, this is why I defend people like Mandy Rose. And, again, I'm not going to change anybody's opinion because my opinion doesn't matter. My opinion doesn't matter to anybody. So the only reason why no one cares about Mandy Rose is because she's been on the main roster for 5 months. So that's your excuse. What about Asuka? She was on the main roster for a few months. And everybody wanted to see her in championship contention. She was in NXT for about 3-4 months, and she got a title opportunity. Is that any different? No, of course not, because NXT is not Monday Night Raw and SmackDown Live. And here's my other complaint that I'm going to make, and I know this is going to piss off a lot of people. It's probably even going to stir King Schmidt a little bit here. But from what I can tell, the only people that the fans care about nowadays is the people that came from the Indies. Asuka came from the Indies. Sasha came from the Indies. Bayley came from the Indies. Becky came from the Indies. So it seems like it's all about the Indies. Now I know Emma did. I know Emma came from the Indies. So did the Iconics. They came from the Indies. But when people say Sasha Banks isn't getting the treatment that she deserves, she's now in a Money in the Bank ladder match. People saying that WWE needs to start giving Becky Lynch a chance, and they're treating her poorly, and they put her in the Money in the Bank ladder match. The Money in the Bank ladder match is suited for people like Mandy Rose, so that way they can get an opportunity. What, just because they've been on the main roster for 5 months, that means you can't, you know... So it's all about impression, it's all about what they have done. So obviously nobody remembers the impact that they made as Absolution. Of course, nobody cared about that. Again, nobody cared what Mandy Rose ever did. So pinning Sasha Banks and pinning Becky Lynch counts as, oh, that's nothing. All it is just, oh, it's just 2 fluke victories. Fluke victories. That's all it is. That's all it is to the indie guys. Ah, it's a fluke victory. It's a fluke victory. Doesn't count. It's a fluke. This is why I defend people like Mandy Rose. It's sickening. It's sickening how people just aren't going to give her a chance. You're not going to... So Mandy Rose has to be has to wrestle like a Sasha Banks. She has to wrestle like a Bayley. Has to wrestle like an Asuka, like a Charlotte, and like a Becky to get your approval. Even Ember Moon, she has to wrestle at an Ember Moon level. That she has to wrestle at these types of women's levels. Is that what's going to get you to appreciate her? Seriously. What's it going to take? Nothing. That's the answer. Nothing. You don't like Mandy Rose because you don't want her to be successful. You don't want to see her succeed. You don't want to see Mandy Rose succeed. You don't want to see Mandy Rose champion. All you care about is your Sashas, your Baileys, your Beckys, your Charlottes, your Oscars, your Ember Moons. That's all you people care about. You don't care about Mandy Rose. You don't want to see her succeed. But when NXT rushes a superstar, when an NXT rushes to the moon, yeah, you're all okay with it. But this isn't about NXT. But still though, this is stupid. Now, this match obviously is more like, yeah, Asuka's taking on Carmella for the SmackDown Women's Championship. That's what you people are going to say. You're going to say, oh, well, Asuka's going to verse the SmackDown Women's Champion at Money in the Bank, so of course someone has to job to Asuka. What are you complaining about? What I'm complaining about is that they chose the wrong person. They chose the wrong person to do it. If they had Sonya Deville do it, I wouldn't have really cared that much. I'm not a big Sonya Deville fan, but I am willing to actually give this woman a chance. And this is the other thing that I want you people to understand. Mandy and Sonya are young. They are young. So you expect them to be incredible at the age of 24, 23? You expect them to be really good at that age? Wrestlers get better as they get older. The older you get, the better you get. It's not the older you get, the worse you get. It's the older you get, the better you get. Especially if you're young and you're well in shape. That's the other thing that I really have an issue with. People just shit on a wrestler because they want to. Or because they haven't done anything to impress them within 5 months. Or however long they've been there for. Seriously. Asuka obviously wins here to build some momentum for her match with Carmella. So, and what made this even worse is that Sonya Deville attacks Asuka from behind. Jeez, I so knew. Jeez, now I completely know Mandy Rose is going to lose this match. Jeez. It's ridiculous. But, I can't complain. I'm not allowed to share my complaints. I can't complain about a wrestler. I can't complain about a wrestler that nobody gives a shit about. If no one gives a shit about Mandy Rose, I shouldn't give a shit about Mandy Rose either, right? If JD doesn't care about her, we all should not care about them. Give me a break. Again, we wrestling fans have a voice. We can like and dislike whoever we want. Asuka wins. Taps out Mandy Rose. And the main event was Samoa Joe, Big Cass, and Daniel Bryan in a triple threat. Samoa Joe got the win here. He Burkina clutches Daniel Bryan, which kind of surprised me. I was actually thinking that Big Cass was going to be the one to take the fall here, because I thought that was the reason why he was in the match. But no. Samoa Joe gets the victory here. Now, I want to talk about something before I go. There's been reports going around that Daniel Bryan has not re-signed with WWE yet. Could this be the reason why they're having Daniel Bryan lose? Could this be the reason why they're having Daniel Bryan lose all these matches? WWE would be foolish to let Daniel Bryan go. They would be stupid to let Daniel Bryan go. Having Daniel Bryan lose all these matches. Now, he has won a few matches. He beat Jeff Hardy and he beat Big Cass. And he also beat Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. But but what I'm trying to say is that he doesn't have a contract yet. He hasn't re-signed yet. Could this be one of the main reasons why he lost here? The fact that he doesn't have a contract. But that is a question for another day. We'll find out more about Daniel Bryan's status. But either way, guys, that is your SmackDown Live review. SmackDown, in my opinion, wasn't really that good. It just really didn't feel like a good SmackDown to me. I love this brand. I feel like SmackDown has so many great people on this brand. People who they should be pushing, giving a chance to. But ultimately, this brand is suffering because of creative booking. Anyway, guys, thank you all for joining me for this video. Be sure to hit that like button. Comment your thoughts down below about everything I spoke about here. And be sure to check out my other videos. And be sure to follow me on Twitter at pvalentine95. Thank you all for joining me. I'll talk to you all later. Too sweet out.